Hello, good afternoon, teachers and fellow classmates. Today present about event plan, Zoom out. Okay. Also, my team member is Valerie, Dee, Daphne, and Paris, and I'm Ying Zhang. Okay. So, the first introduction, I'm gonna pass to Valerie.
Thank you, Ying-Yang. I'm going to introduce about this presentation. And we are talking about Zookout Singapore, and this is an annual dance music festival which is held in Singapore. And it is organized by Zookout, which is a very famous nightlife brand in Singapore. And this is one of the largest dusk to dawn music festival in Asia. And it has been awarded by Singapore Tourism Board as the best leisure event experience. The mission of this event is to gather a community of music lovers beyond the limitation of an indoor space at an immersive and experiential festival. Next, I would like to pass to Min Han to talk about feasibility studies.
Thank you, Valerie. I'm going to present about the feasibility study of the Zookout Singapore. Our target, Zookout target markets will be the partygoers who are aged between 18 to 24 in Asia, such as Thai, Malaysia, Singapore, and many others who enjoy music and enjoy nightlife. Nevertheless, the number of attendants tends to increase from 9,000 in year 2000 to 50,000 in year 2015. Obviously, the demand is getting higher and higher in the market, and the biggest competitor of the Zookout will be the Ultra Singapore. However, the executive producer of the Ultra Singapore claimed that the Zookout is 4 months apart with the Ultra Singapore, so there's enough share market to go around. And moving on to the operation factors, in terms of operations, there's plenty of choices for the venue other than the Siloso Beach, such as the Tanjong Beach Marina Bay waterfront. Zookout has 15 years of experience and have grown in terms of production and lighting. Everything from fireworks displays, confetti bursts, and the fringe activities are added creatively over the years to provide unique experiences to the attendees. And these are the fireworks display, the confetti bursts. Financial factors plays a significant role in the feasibility studies. Although the financial statement is not publicized, but the sponsors are known. They are like Heineken, Scoot, Citibank, Red Bull, and many others. It is an advantage as sponsorship does not only support materials such as the energy drinks, but they also contribute on financial support. And I'll pass the next part to B.
So as for my slide, I'll be talking more about the resource allocations. So as you can see over here, there's two words. First word is resource and the second word is allocation. So to resource is something like an asset, and then it's an amount of manpower we can use. And the second word, allocation, it actually means that how we actually utilize and maintain administrative resources to gain successful objective. Not only that, I'll also be talking about the input and output analysis as well. So over here, we have an example of flow of resources from the first phase to the third phase. And this phase is also a cycle. From the first phase, as we can see, resources and supply of products are first produced, and then it goes to a team of human resources, or manpower. they do the coordination and control of the flow of resources and information, and after that, the third phase would be event implementation experienced by the customers. Back to the second phase, from the experience earned from these customers, the organization could receive feedbacks, either positive or even negative feedbacks. If they receive negative feedbacks, they can manage how to mitigate bad coordination and then improve on the flow of resources and information. And lastly, it goes back to the first phase, whether you should change or add more resources and even the products. Now, I'd like to talk about the inputs. So inputs are actually what we give in, and then what we give into the event, and then we hope for something in return. So first of all, we have tangible inputs and the intangible inputs. Tangible inputs are something that we can see, and we can see and touch, something like concrete in basic terms. So one of the tangible inputs is directional signs, as this is very important because directional signs, it shows you the direction, where to go, where is the exit, and of course, very importantly, is the toilet. Where is the toilet? Of course, we have next is the event posters, decorations, photo booths, audiovisual systems, lightings, fireworks, displays, confetti bursts, and also staffs, including part-timers, which is of course, like I mentioned, this is the HR, human resources. As for the intangible inputs are something that you cannot feel or touch, alright? So one of the intangible inputs is information. And what do I mean by information is information to communication flow between the organizers. Moving on is the innovative design. We have ideas when the organizations start out brainstorming for new ideas, and then technology, skills, that is the employees' performance during their work, includes sound and time. For my third slide, it will be about outputs. So outputs is about how an organization receive back their products. So we have direct outputs that we get from the customers at the party. So first of all, they get goods and services, which is through F&B, and then this is a very good output because it increases the revenue of the event mostly. Next is of course, they get the show, they get to experience the show itself. And thirdly, by experience I mean the adrenaline experience pump where everybody feels the bond between each other and they feel happy. There's a bond created between people to people even though you're a stranger. Moving on to indirect outputs, Zookout 2016 actually got the best leisure event experience. Not only that, they also get the best night sport experience. However, the following term is very critical because it also enhances the growth in the tourism industry of the country. Further on, they also increase the income of other business that supplies the tourism industry. This is what we call the ripple effect. If you all don't know what the ripple effect is when the water drops, there's a circle that forms between, right? And the circle spreads out. So that's what we call the ripple effect. One effect causes everything, impacts on everything. Yeah. So of course it also strengthens the economy value, and lastly it enhances the name of the nation. So I'll be passing to.
So I'm gonna talk about risk and contingency planning. So this is the risk identification. So there's a 4-step risk, and then first you gotta analyze the event, and then assess the risk in terms, then develop strategy to reduce the possible damage, and then control the risk. Okay, so there are a few risks that event faces. Then the failure of public address sound system. Okay, so we need backup sound system, just in case sound system goes off, and then we gotta find someone which has the skills to control the sound system. So this to prevent the sound system goes wrong. Okay. So failure of VIP to arrive. Okay. So what if we have a DJ that didn't arrive on time, and then we can have the MC to control the crowd first until the VIP arrive. Mix plan with instructed staff to continue the event program rather than delay it, because it's not that without the VIP then we cannot continue the event. So then identify and use other people in the event team or other guests who can step up into make the performance. So if it's necessary, then we can find anyone who has the skills, then can ask them to control the crowd first. Okay, so inclement weather. So okay, what if suddenly the rain starts to pour, and then everyone will get wet, or if the sun is too hot, and then so we must have the shelter for people, otherwise they will go home. Like if it's too hot, then everyone will not stay in the event, right? Because if it's too crowded, and then or it starts to rain, then everyone get wet. So we need shelter to cover them. And then we have to make plans to relocate activities to shelters area, or to alter the event program to salvage the day if possible. Although we move the crowd to the booth or the tent, so make sure they have shelter. Okay, or have contingency insurance for the event if there is too much at stake financial. If raining, right, then if it starts to flood, so the event will go off, right, we cannot continue, and everyone will go home, then we will make a loss for the event. So that's when the insurance come and they cover the losses. Okay, so event staff who go missing. So we must have a person designated in the event management team as a troubleshooter, whose job is to continually move about the venue looking for such problem. So if staff go missing or something like that, then we must have another person to stand by to control the event. Okay, roster more staff than are actually needed, so that there are few spares that can be assigned to positive anyway. Okay, so we can assign the staff. Okay, so break ages and other losses. Okay, so to prevent that, we must prevent the we must have a backup system. Then we have to assign the troubleshooter who detects the problem as early as possible. Okay, then we must also assign some of the staff. We must assign more staff on a certain job, just in case anything happens. And then we must have must have a backup staff that runs out to the store to get more items, like just in case we have not enough drinks or food, then we must have the staff running to the store and get more food and drinks. Okay, then injuries and incident. Okay, we must organize first aid kit and other qualified medical personnel to be in attendance throughout the event. Okay, we must have like ambulance, something just in case anyone gets hurt. So then they can go immediately. Okay. So aside on, they can go to the hospital immediately. Okay. So we have assigned on more staff than the minimum requirement, so that one person requires treatment, it will not impact on the running of the event. Okay, we must ensure the driveway is not and the entrance is not blocked, so the ambulance can go through and pass. Like because life is very important. If the ambulance get blocked, right, then it might not save the person's life. Okay, we must train all the staff just in case there is an emergency. Like maybe the day before the event, we can train the staff. Like make sure everything is organized, and then the ambulance and the VIP or something they can go through easily. Okay, besides that, there's also one risk is ticket scam. Okay, because many people nowadays they like to buy cheap stuff online. So like if ticket is very cheap, then they rather buy it online because it's few hundred more cheaper. Then once they buy, they go to the event day to meet the person, and then the person is not there, and then so this is how they get scammed. And then the research shows that a lot of people got scammed while buying lookout tickets online. Okay, next I'm gonna pass to Paris.
Good evening, Ms. Susan and classmates. Right now I'm going to talk about a little bit about the risk management assessment plan for the Zookout. And the risk management assessment plan is a very important thing during organizing an event, because risk assessment plan is a plan that you should have implement before the event started, because the plan will be like the backup plan for relocating or backup things of the events, and it will be go through by 4 steps of the risk process, like planning, identifying, and analyzing, and also responding. Also, everything needs to be documented in order to be used as a reference for future events. And these are the techniques that apply for drafting a business assessment plan. First, decision tree. What is decision tree? The decision tree is to decide the support and also the risk that could be happen during the event. Such as here, we have the image that shows the use of pyrotechnics, smoke effects, and color papers. We can compare both of these during the events. Like the smoke effect will cause secondary risk like intoxication, and the benefit is not inflammable, easy to control. Compared to color papers, sorry, the Wi-Fi is not working. Compared to color papers, the color papers is secondary shade, slippery ground. When the color papers like pop out from the what's that called, the fireworks thing, the flammable things, and it will like spread all over the ground and all over the stage, and it may cause the slippery of ground. And the benefit is it's not dangerous to health, and also really small probability of risk. So if you wanted to create a very big crowd or a very big crowded voice from the audience, you can use color papers instead of smoke effect. Of course, smoke effect is very interesting when you're using, because smoke, when you see the very mysterious things, and the mysterious things may cause the intoxication. So it's not really good for an event to use smoke effect. And the other analyze tools that I can use for is the fault tree analysis. And the fault tree analysis, right now I'm talking about attendees injured. When attendees injured, you can see the crowd will be disordered, and then the crowd disorder continuously, the wrong positioning of the security personnel will cause the attendees injured getting more serious. And then the not enough empty space between stage and attendees is also can cause another bad effect of the events and wrong behavior from the attendees when you wanted to escort someone from crowd and the attendees is not really cooperation. So this is what I said, the wrong behavior from attendees. Next, this is the risk assessment matrix that I use for analyze the hazard and also the possibilities of risk that will happen in an event. Such as this, why is the red color highlighted here? The topics that I use for is risk of having beer glass bottles. During Zookout event, they do drinks, alcoholic drinks, and then they do provide alcoholic drinks, and also when you provide alcoholic drinks, we'll get the bottles of the alcoholic drinks, and the consequences is really significant, and the likelihood is very certain, that extremely certain that you will happen in Zookout. And next up, the risk assessment tables. There are few risks that I can say in during the Zookout event or during a musical festival event, like manually handling, lifting, like the manpower is lifting box or lifting like the speakers to here or there, and then it may cause the back or shoulder strain or sprain. So restock staff is kind of the affected person will be the restock staff. So it's kind of the risk rating here said D2 low. So D2 low is here, D2 low. Okay, and the consequences of the person who are lifting the boxes or things will be very low. So currently the risk control measure will be trained in glove lifting techniques. So this is not really important. And then next will be the electrical board outlet in public signal accessible area. It's like the LED board when you shows on the poster or entrance. And the person affected will be the main worker or the person around. And the risk rating here considered E2 low, so it's not really extremely very serious. So right now, talk about the rubbish disposals. So in Singapore, it's not really serious for rubbish disposal because they have a really good behavior in controlling in throwing rubbish. So they will go to certain place that we provided the rubbish bin, they will show it there. So the behavior of Singaporean is not really that considered for our risk. And then the emergency action plans that I wanted to say for the grandstand collapse. What is the grandstand collapse? The grandstand collapse that can say that like the stage, when the stage or it's not the real high stage, like before the burial that we separate the attendees and the DJs. Between this, how to evaluate if the grandstand collapse. The grandstand, you can say visual or number of rows, length of rows, height of rows, approximately a number of people on stands. The emergency actions that you can do is stop the event right away and also activated the emergency on-site services as mentioned just now with our Xingzang said contingency plan. And also notification, data to record is when the grandstand collapse, what happened will be how many people will be injured, the name of injuries and also the damage of the injuries. And then the log of the activities, what happened if the grandstand collapse and the issues that happens to injuries. We have to talk to their parents, we have to, not parents we have to responsible to their lives because it's life. And so this is the few techniques that I apply for risk assessment plan. And next I'll pass it to Valerie to conclude our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Paris, and I would like to conclude our presentation. As an event planner, we have to be aware of risks throughout the planning and production of event. Also, organizing event can lead to a lot of uncertainties and it can result in harm to the people, property, and also reputation. As Gardiner pointed out, not all risks are bad, as risks can have positive impact. So, event planners have to utilize their resources in order to securely and safely facilitating the staging of event, also fulfill the needs and expectations of the attendees to look out and the goals and objectives of the client. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Group 1. Can I just, I think I lost a bit of track to your presentation because your application to Zuka, you talked about contingency plans a lot, but can you actually give me examples of anything untoward that has happened in Zuka over the years? Any specific events?
Specific events or issue?
Yeah, that has actually happened. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Would it be under your part?
My part. Yeah.
No, would it be under your part? Because I want to know the specific.
Okay, no problem. Examples like I have researched recently about the Zuka event because they have really happens on the ticket scam things that just now Yinzang mentioned. They actually is really young adults that he bought the tickets online, and then it gets scammed when he get caught during the event because they said that he bought a fake tickets and they don't let him to get into the events, and it's kind of famous in the news in Singapore. And I think it's only the audience. The audience itself will aware about the ticket scams, and also the one who bought the tickets will know that the affection towards him is a young adult. They bought it from online. The online cost is like half of price from the original price.
When we go to your fireworks,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the second or third slide.
Okay.
Just go back to that, please. Fifth slide. Under operational.
The pictures.
Now, what operational risk can you? I mean, you've got very vivid visuals here.
This
yeah.
one?
So, what sort of risk elements would there be here? Obviously, in an event like this.
Do you mean during the event, right? During the event, the fireworks that splash out like this will probably harm the audience in front of right very close to the stage, and it's kind of harmful for them to have the smoke effect because when the things pops out, they of course they have a little bit chemical things in it, so it's kind of harmful for the audience. Maybe they can use the things that I say color papers more than the.
No, okay, but what has actually
Yeah.
what has been used in Zuka?
They use the flammable, the smoke things, like the fireworks things,
That's very effective.
the confetti things.
Has there been any accidents from all this? Use of pyrotechnics?
Just a minute.
For the firework, actually they have the firework barge on the beach because this event is actually organized by the Siloso beach, and the firework is launched at the beach area at the ship. They bring the ship and have firework at far from the crowd place. And as you can see this picture, for the crowd there, the area they use color paper. Thank you.
So has anything untoward actually happened in Singapore?
Right now, so far, I researched through the newspapers that they do is kind of only ticket scam that only considers as the really risk that they can really manage.
What do you think is the main attraction of this event?
The main attraction is within the Singaporeans, they can have the rave party because when they go into the rave parties, they do not have to use the cash or the actual money to board some things because they use EZ-Link cards, they use their MRT card to board some things. And this is interesting that they do not use the cash, they use the card. They do the card things. So it's kind of interesting to attract people that.
Why do you think that, I know you're researching on Singapore, but why do you think that rave parties are actually banned in Malaysia?
Because we are a religious, Islam religious country, and then it's kind of not allowed for the Islam to strictly not allowed the Islam to drink alcoholic drinks, And then if we're doing this kind of rave party without alcoholic drinks, it will be not that interested compared to with alcoholic drinks.
Okay. Now, okay, you said that part of the inputs that we've had for this event is the part-time staff. Now, how many people, do you have any indication of how many
Sorry, miss, what's the question again?
volunteers,
Volunteers.
part-time staff?
Actually, there's no volunteers. There's only part-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a number?
It's not stated actually. But they did mention that they have part-timers.
How many people are attracted to Zookout? You don't give me the capacity. Crowd
About
capacity.
50. It's about 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah.
And this is run every year.
Yep. Yes.
It is growing every year.
Yes. With changing trends and different styles and themes. Yeah.
Okay, on to risk identification. Not the yeah. Of all these 4 steps, which one is applied to Zookout? Because this is theory, so I want to see application to the event.
The risk identification, because when the lookout must analyze what's the risk, like even like
Example?
terrorist shooting, like it's very serious, make sure everyone is not carrying a weapon or drugs or anything that can explode, so this one is main reason because they go in, boom, everyone die, then everyone sent to hospital, and then lookout will drop because the next day the news will say like our lookout is not fail management, did not manage all the properly, and then then our reputation will become very bad. Then no one will
So
come.
in terms of risk assessment, you only mentioned one is terrorism.
Okay.
Surely there's more,
Oh,
right?
okay. Other than terrorism, right? These are all the risks that might happen. So we
This
must.
is contingency, so what has actually happened? I'm interested in what has actually happened. You mentioned ticket scam only so far. So what else has happened? Injury?
Okay.
Injury?
But there's one risk is sexual, because some of the people drinking, and then some of the people they carry the drugs in places that we couldn't check, places we couldn't check. And so they went in, they drugged the girls, and then there were reports that girls getting raped or sexual
Why
abuse.
is this not in your presentation?
For you.
That's a major thing. I think you should include it. I hope it's in your written report. It should be.
It's in the report.
It's in the
Yes.
report, but it's not in the presentation. It's a big thing.
Ticket scam also was the risk also.
All right. In inclement weather, you put under contingency plan, but given that our weather has been quite unpredictable, but you were explaining it about hot sun, but this is a dusk to dawn. Where's the sun? Dusk is evening. Dusk is evening.
Oh, okay. So, like some people will go early, right? And then the event starts at 4. Some people want to enter first, so to get to the front. So we can have tent temporarily to block them. Some people. Okay, then maybe maybe the rave start at 4. Okay, but it's still quite hot. Because the sun is still not fully going down, right? So some people get hot, get hydrated, so they need to go dehydrated. Then because they need to rest, so they need some tent, just to rest temporarily, and then if they want to continue, then they can continue.
From the risk management assessment plan, Now, you've used a few tools like decision tree, fault tree analysis, as well as risk assessment matrix. Now, of all the tools that you've identified here, which do you think is the most effective to apply?
I think the most effective to identify the risk is using the risk assessment tables. Because when you list down all the risks and you could know what is the hazard after it and what caused the hazard happen and what caused the issues happens and how can you recover, how can you overcome the problem, and also what people are affected during the events. And so I think that the risk assessment tables are very useful when you organize an event.
Okay. What about prioritizing the risks? Which particular tool would actually prioritize the risk?
When you I can say that using the assessment metrics, you can consider like the consequences is from 1 to 5 and also the likelihood from A to E. And you can know which one you can control and which one you certainly cannot control, but you can use another method or plan to cover it.
50,000 people is a lot of people.
Yes. No. Yeah,
So
yes.
what would be one of the main risk factors? You got it in your fault tree analysis.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the crowd disorder.
That's right. The crowd disorders. When the crowd disorder will be caused by the attendees injured. When you overcrowded, sometimes the rave party will overcrowded and your movement is too much. When you movement too much, you'll get like elbow someone accidentally. And then when you elbow someone, they will be like, you are fighting at me, I'm fighting with you. And then suddenly the crowd spread it out.
I think you must be aware that overcrowding actually is
The
crushing.
okay.
What is the bigger risk is crushing.
Uh-huh.
When bodies are all
Squeezing.
and your air, you can't breathe.
Yeah.
That's a bigger risk.
Okay.
It's
Understand.
overcrowding. All right. Last question.
Mm.
Now, what kind of person emergency action plan does the organizers for Zookout put in place?
The emergency advocation plan.
Emergency action plan.
Yeah, action plan. Okay. This is the prediction of we doing assessment plan. It's not from Zookout precisely. It's from ourselves, and we predict that they might happen with the barriers when the wave starts to rave and the barriers started to pushing in front, and then it might happen like the grandstand collapse. It's kind of like very serious things. Very serious thing. When the things collapse, the whole reputation, the whole stage will be ruined, and the whole plan will be ruined.
Has Zookout, okay, last question, final one.
Okay.
Has Zookout received any negative publicity or any damage to the reputation of the event?
Sorry again, come again.
Any damage to reputation of Zookout event?
So far, our research is not really a status on the risk in the newspaper itself.
They've been awarded to best.
Yeah, just awarded because my friend went to wave party also to Zookout, and their feedback is kind of nice. Even though it's raining, they're still wearing the raincoat and with the DJs. It's kind of interesting with that. Another challenge for the things that inclement weathers that can say.
All right. So, thank you, Group 1.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hang chưa? Đâu có chạm được đâu.